final stages of the second round here. So each of these players have played 12 games each already. And this is the 13th of 14 games. Now, Stephen Forster out here on your screen is leading. He has 10 wins so far, so it's 10 wins out of the 12 games that he's played. Dwayne McCormick, who he's playing, has 7 wins, so he's out of contention for the victory. This being the second last game, he can only get himself up to 9, even if he wins this one and the next. But also in contention over on another lawn, we have 2 New South Wales players. Jim Nichols, who's on 9 wins out of 12 so far, and he's playing Stephen Richards, who's from Canberra. Jim's from Wagga Wagga up in New South Wales, and Stephen Richards is on 8 wins. So those 3 are still in the running for the event. Now, the event, as I'm sure you all know, is called the President's 8's. So that's 3 lots of 8. Great shot there from Dwayne McCormick. Gives himself another chance to get back in the game. So the President's 8's. Now, there are a few top players who are unavailable for various reasons, either work commitments or illness or injury, or whatever it may be. But the event is nevertheless quite a strong one. We have some of the top players in the country playing in it. So Stephen Forster, who was on your screen a minute ago, is the number 6 in Australia, and Dwayne McCormick, who's playing now, is the number 7 in Australia. So it's a very evenly matched game, at least in theory. The scores are 9-all, so that's playing out quite well. Dwayne McCormick here is now chosen to play the blue ball, and the blue ball has not made any hoops yet, so he could, if he wants to, and is good enough to, can take the blue ball right around and score all its 12 hoops. Now, after a ball has gone through 12 hoops, or the 12 hoops that it is required to go through in a particular sequence, it is then hit onto the peg in the middle of the lawn. That effectively counts as a 13th hoop. And if you do that with both of your balls, so for Dwayne with both blue and black, you'll have 12 hoops with each, plus a 13th hoop with each, which will hit that peg in the middle. You'll have 26 hoops, and he will win, if nothing goes wrong. Now, although in any particular turn, so any particular session a player has on the lawn, he can only strike one particular ball with his mallet, he can hit that ball onto other balls in such a way that they go through the hoops that they're supposed to go through as well. So he can gain more hoops than just his 12 with blue. So the aim in this turn will be to hit blue through all 12 hoops and then hit it onto the peg in the middle, so that'll be 13, and at the same time hit black, which is his partner ball, through its last 3 hoops and onto the peg in the middle of the lawn, which is where things get a bit complicated and interesting. So this could be a finishing turn. If Dwayne McCormick plays perfectly, no mistakes, he may win this game without giving his opponent another shot. And if he does that and wins this game, it will leave Stephen Forster on 10 wins with 1 game to go. And depending on what happens in the game between the New South Welsh players, Jim Nichols and Stephen Richards. So if Jim Nichols wins that one, he will also be on 10 games with 1 game to go. Now Dwayne McCormick here is increasing his lead once again. He's made 9 hoops with his black ball so far and 2 with the blue. And he is attempting, or he will be attempting in a moment, not only to run through the 3rd hoop with the blue ball, but once he comes through the hoop, remembering he has 1 more shot, he'll be able to hit black, and then he'll have 2 more shots after hitting black. And with the first of those shots, he will attempt to do what is called a peel, which is to knock a ball which is not his striker's ball, so not the blue, through the hoop that it's up to. So black, if you see the clips on that hoop, the clip on the side of the hoop denotes that that is black's hoop. Black is to go through that hoop next. He'll try and put the black through the hoop in this stroke. So this is a way he can give himself more points by gaining hoops for his partner ball. Hope that all makes sense. What he's done here is a bit unfortunate, given that he's seems to have hampered himself, so he hasn't got a clear swing on blue towards the yellow. So he's calling for a referee. Referees are normally in nice bright yellow jackets, but all he can see is a cameraman so far. And he's now found a referee, woken up, and has now something to do. So the aim will be to hit blue onto yellow. Now it's only about 3 or 4 yards away, so it should be easy, but if the mallet hits a ball other than the striker's ball, so other than blue, during this stroke, that will be a fault and the end of turn. So McCormick here must be very careful that the mallet doesn't hit black whilst trying to swing onto blue. And it looks like he's decided that it's too dangerous and he's going to do something else. So he's now going to try and hit red instead. How hard he will hit red is an interesting question. If he hits it straight in the middle, it might be useful to hit it very hard, but he didn't, so that doesn't really matter. So he will now come back up the lawn, so away from the camera, and try and get behind yellow with his blue. So having hit red, he has 2 more shots. With the first shot, he will attempt to get it on the far side of yellow, and with the second shot he will hit yellow, and he will hit it in such a way that yellow comes down to the 4th hoop, so the bottom right hand corner of the lawn. And he will do that because that's the hoop that blue must go to next, and blue, after it has hit yellow, has 2 more shots, the first of which must be taken from wherever yellow ends up. So he's had 2 shots on red. Sorry, he has hit red and has had 2 shots. Has gained 2 shots as a consequence. The first shot he's used to get to where he is now, and the second shot he will use to hit yellow and gain some more shots to continue. Now, he can't keep hitting a particular ball again and again and again with his blue and keep accumulating shots. You can only accumulate shots from another ball once between each hoop. So you can only have a maximum of 7 shots between hoops in a particular turn, so which is what's happening here. So earlier on, Dwayne came through hoop 3, which entitled him to 1 more shot. He used that to hit black, and that entitled him to 2 more shots. Then he hit red, which is 2 more shots again. Now he's hit yellow, which is 2 more shots. So 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 7, and this is his 7th stroke. And if he doesn't get the blue through this hoop in this shot, that would be end of turn, and the opposition can have a go. But he's through. So he starts all again. Now he comes through the hoop. He can have one more shot. Since blue went off the lawn, he has to bring it 1 yard in. And with that one more shot, he will try and hit another ball. Yellow being nearest will be a good idea. Once he hits yellow, he has 2 more shots from wherever yellow ends up. Probably not quite where he wanted it to end up, but it'll do for the moment. So McCormick is increasing his lead. He's actually got 14 hoops now. Since blue, the striker's ball, has gone through 4 hoops and black through 10. Just giving you an update on some of the other games around for those who are interested in following the scores online. On lawn 4, so this game's been played on lawn 2, at 12 lawns here at Canley in Victoria. So on lawn 4 we have Jim Nichols playing Stephen Richards, and the scores there are slightly in favour of Stephen Richards. He's leading 12-11 and is now in play, so he has a slight edge over Jim Nichols. On lawn 1 we have Trevor Bassett from, he lives in Victoria but he's playing as a New South Wales affiliated player, so he's playing Alison Sharp from New South Wales. Trevor Bassett has made 14 hoops. Alison Sharp has made 12 and is in play and is just going through hoop 13, so it's another very close contest. On lawn 3, which is the next lawn up on your current screen, we have Eric Ayling from Western Australia playing Kevin Beard from Victoria. Eric Ayling has made 9 hoops, and Kevin Beard, who's walking right to left, sort of mid-screen, has made 4. So Kevin Beard has a shot, but the nearest target is 23, 24 yards away, so close to 20 metres, so he has a tough shot no matter what. Oh no, I'm wrong. He has a 20-yard shot there, but that's not the one he wants to take, because if he misses that particular shot, it gives the opposition from Western Australia an easy innings. So those 4 matches I've just mentioned are the games being played in the first 8, so the top bracket of this competition. So they're the top 8 available players. Many of those have represented, I think all but one have represented Australia at World Championship events, World Championships being individual events, and some of them have represented Australia in an event called the Mac Robertson Shield, which is the kind of equivalent of the Ashes Test Series is in cricket. It's the most prestigious team event in croquet. It's held every 3 to 4 years. World Championships every 2 years. The next one, incidentally, will be held here in Victoria in 2020. And these 12 lawns at the beautiful venue of Canley will be the headquarters of that event. So if you happen to be in Melbourne in, I think it's March, February, March 2020. Come along to see the best croquet players in the world battling it out, doing some amazingly skillful and complicated things. If you like chess, snooker, or any game where you have to plan things out and think ahead and be vicious to your opponent while you're at it, and it might be for you. Now, Dwayne McCormick here has just failed hoop 6. Blue is still to go through the hoop from our side, from the playing side, so the blue clip is put on the top of the hoop to denote that that is the next hoop it's up to, and black is coming through from the far side, so the black clip is put on the side of the hoop. So you can tell what hoops each ball must make next by where the clip, which corresponds in colour to the ball, is placed. Now Stephen Forster here has an interesting choice. He can either play red or yellow. They're both of his balls. Now yellow hasn't scored yet, so yellow has the most hoops to make, but it has a longer shot than red. He really wants to play yellow, but purely because of distance he's less likely to hit it than he is to hit with red. Now he is a very good player, so he shouldn't be bothered by that extra 2 or 3 yards at all. However, he still played red. Now he did this in a World Championship 2 years ago in Florida, in California, and he was playing the eventual winner of the World Championship, and he had a situation just like this, and he took the easy shot and lost as a consequence. So we will see whether the same thing happens here. Basically the difference is that if he had taken the shot that was a 5-yard shot, and had he hit it and then played a perfect break, he could win this game without the opponent stepping on the lawn again, whereas red cannot make enough hoops to win, so the opponent gets at least one more turn, one more chance of hitting something, no matter what he does with red or how clever or cunning he is. And that one more shot can be the difference between a win or a loss. Stephen Forster's an interesting player in that hitting one ball onto another at a long distance is not his forte. He is very good at it, but he's not as good as the top players in the world. He relies quite heavily on having lots of easy shots and doing them perfectly, as opposed to hitting the long, difficult ones and then getting something out of it. So he's one of the most consistent players in the country, if not in the world, on that score, but not having the confidence to hit long distance shots can